Hello, my name is Leo and welcome to a new day of the Elder Scrolls Arena. It is now the 10th of the month, which is Sun's Dawn, and something happened last night. Well, started to happen last night. I think I might have mentioned that, all last week it was sort of like sleeting. If you don't know what sleet is, it's when it's like, it's not snow, it's just like icy rain. And it's really miserable. Like, you can see the ice, but it kind of almost melts before it hits the ground. Like when I'm driving, it sort of hits the windscreen and then instantly melts. Like, just gone. And that's just depressing and cold as fuck. Oh my god, it's so cold. Something interesting started happening last night. It started snowing. Yay, snow! The thing that never happens in my hometown in Australia. This is the second time in my entire life that I've actually seen snow. First time was when I was going with a waifu up to North Japan in December. And obviously North Japan, even if it's only December, it was snowing the crap. Now, this is weird. It's really, really weird. It is now the coldest that it has been all year. And when I say all year, since I first came here, like July last year. And it doesn't make any sense. I would think, in my personal logic, that December, maybe the beginning of January, would be the coldest that it is. But December was actually fairly bearable. January was not that bad at all. Up until Monday, last Monday, it was actually getting really warm, and I was like, "Wow, it's not cold anymore." And then, boom, it got cold, and it started sleeting every day. And now that it's snowing, it's freezing cold. And like everyone has been telling me this, February is the coldest month of the year, and I'm like, bullshit. That doesn't even make sense. Why would February be the coldest month of the year? Surely it would be Christmas time. But no, now I'm seeing the truth. It's freaking cold. But snow's cool. So it's snowing a bit. Um, Now, a funny story. Oh well, the first thing that I did when we were out driving, we went and had ramen because my the waifu's friends here staying here for a few days, and we went and had ramen because like she's got a, are they married? Yes, they are married now. She's married like a Korean dude, and she's staying in Korea, South Korea, of course, for some time. Well, she's been there for a while. She's living there now, sort of like how I'm living in Japan. Um, so she's gotten used to like Korean food, which I guess in some aspects is similar to Japanese food, but in some aspects it's very different. So there's a couple of things that she wanted to do when she came back, and one of that was eat ramen noodles. So we went to a ramen place, and that was fun. But and then we noticed it was snowing. Now they went. Now we came home from snow, and it had been snowing some more. So there was quite a build-up of snow around the place. So I parked the car, right, and then they went inside, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be a little freaking. I'm like a kid on Christmas here with all this snow. I'm gonna make snow angels. No, not snow angels. There's no way I'm rolling in snow. Um, but I did. Now on the driveway, if you remember back this far, we had the driveway quote unquote renovated to make it a bit wider. The renovation, well, I thought that we were actually building like an extra little bridge. Maybe I should go back some further in case there's people that haven't actually listened to the previous episodes. So the front driveway, well, in front of the houses on our street, at least the houses on our side of the street, there's this tiny little creek, reservoir, giant gutter type thing that runs down in front of the house. and all of the houses on this side of the street have to build these stupid stone bridges to go over that small like thing. It seems to me to be really, really uneconomical, but whatever. I'm not going to dispute it. But the driveway that we did have, or the bridge that we had, was kind of small, and we wanted to expand it a bit, so we renovated it. And I thought we were going to build a nice big huge bridge. And what ended up happening is we didn't. We just built like a metal grate thing that extended the bridge, which is okay. It's just having nothing but a metal grate there is really scary. Like when you drive over it, it scares the crap out of me. But anyway, one of the good thing about this metal grate thing is that it's just a flat surface, and a really like perfectly flat surface. So when we came home, there was this like inch thick layer of snow on each of these like metal grate plates that was like a perfect square. It was like you could not have like sculpted a more perfect collection of snow. So I'm like, right, I know what I'm gonna do. Step on the grates, like step in the snow in various interesting ways to make footprints, and immediately say, whose footprints are these? I could not help myself. I couldn't help myself. I did the footprint thing that happens in, I think it's Act 2 of Metal Gear Solid 4, where you have to do the tracking, and there's like all these weird footprints, like footprints going backwards and footprints going outwards, and I didn't do the handprint one, which is too freaking hard for me, but it was fun. It was fun. That's the end of my story, but yeah, snow is a cool thing. I'll tell you one thing though, and I did say this to someone, I can't remember who I said it to, before it started snowing. I'm like, okay, it's getting colder now, okay? Here's what I want to happen. I want it to get cold, and then I want it to snow. I want it to snow like buggery for one day. I want to experience snow, have fun, play around in the snow, and then the next day I want it to all melt away, and then from then on I want it to get warmer. So I'm hoping that's what happens, because I don't know how many days I can stand the level of cold that it needs to be in order to get snow. It's cold, so I'm inside now, and I've got the heater on max, so I'm chilling, well, metaphorically, quite well right now. But anyway, so yeah, the snow, basically, I don't know, snow's cool. The one cool thing, if I go back to my trip, the first time I saw snow, up in north, me and the waifu went to a little town that has a whole bunch of like hot springs or onsens, and I've always liked onsens, but one thing I didn't like about onsens, I always used to go to Japan in summer, and the thing about onsens is they're bloody hot. I guess I don't have a very good tolerance for heat, so sitting in an onsen, especially in summer, is hot as hell. So what I ended up doing is I'd sit in the onsen, then I'd go back to the little showers that you do when you gotta like wash yourself before you go in. I'd just like fill up a bucket full of cold water, I'd just splash it on myself, and then go back to the onsen again. Later on I found some onsens that have like a little cold pool. So you sit in the onsen, you get too hot, then you just jump in the cold pool, then you jump out again, and vice versa. Which, you know, is even better. But what I found even better, we went up to North Japan, me and the waifu. We went to this very famous onsen. I think the name of it was called Sunino View. A lot of celebrities have been there, and it's very, very old school Japanese. You go, like, once you're there, once you walk away from the road, you're basically in, like, Edo period Japan. You're in old-timey Japan. There's nothing that's really, except for lights. Wait, were there real lights? I thought it was all candles. No, there's real lights. Except for lights, it's all, you know, the room that you sleep in is all like, you know, a little samurai room with your futon and stuff. when you have dinner, you go to like this, like, it's a dining hall, only Japanese style with tatami, and you sit on the floor, and then you sit around like a square hole in the ground in the tatami with sand in there with like a hot pot dish in the middle, and you get this like fish on skewers, and you stick them in the thing like next to the fire, and they get hot, and you eat it like straight off the stick. It's so cool. It's very samurai-ish. But the actual onsen itself is even better. Best part about the onsen is the male onsen is actually a shared onsen. So you've got the female onsen, which is females only, no men allowed. But the male onsen, which is actually the main onsen, is actually anyone can come in. So it's a mixed bath, basically. Now this is cool because it means that the waifu and I can actually, take an onsen together, which is we don't usually get to do that because usually it's separated. So, we can sort of, if there's nobody else at the bath, we can sort of talk to each other over the wall. But apart from that, we can't really, chill out and talk and snuggle. But, that's, but, it was fun, it was night time, right? And you get in the onsen and it's very lightly snowing, right? This is what I call the perfect time to have an onsen, especially if it's a mixed bath with a loved one. It was night. It was like 12 o'clock because we wanted to go there when there was no people around, obviously, because no one needs to see my friggin' ginormous gaijin penis. So, well, that's not necessarily true, but the part about people don't need to see it, not the fact that it's huge, it's fucking enormous. But can you shut up, please, and just finish the story? Okay, so it was midnight. We went out there. We got undressed. We got into the onsen. It was just us. It was lightly snowing. It was very cold outside. Right, it was freezing because it's the middle of the night and it's winter and it's like snowing, right? So it's cold. But you get in the onsen and it's like, oh, so good. It's like really warm. And then like you're neck deep in it. And it's like, oh, I'm getting kind of hot. This is where it gets really good. So you sit up. You sit so that like the water is like waist level. So your legs, your lower half of your body is in the water getting all hot. Top half is out in the cold air with the snowflakes like dropping on you. And there's just this huge combination, like this tornado alley of cold and hot. And it just, it works well. There's a point that I brought this up. Snow, yes, that is probably the best use of snow that I can think of. I went to an onsen the other day, actually, when it was sleeting. This is not what I'm talking about. Snow is much better, like cold, wet ice falling on you is not a fun experience. And, well, the worst part about that was it actually stopped. So I ended up getting so hot that I had to go, like, inside. There's like an outside bath and an inside bath. I went inside, and there was, like, a cold bath. And I jumped in that, and it was freaking freezing because it was, like, damn cold. Also, the little, in the outside bath where you gotta, like, wash yourself before you get in, it's outside in the cold. It's freezing as fuck. So, yeah, not cool. But snow's cool. So, another interesting story just before we wrap it up today is, although it reminds me, actually, before I forget, and I will forget, it is Monday, so that means there's a new series coming out. That series is Halo 2. We're almost at the end of the game. We might actually finish it this week. We might not. We'll see how we go. And so stay tuned to the channel or the Halo playlist to check out some more Halo. Halo 2, that is. Yeah, cool. Right, back to my story. So when I was in Shinano-yu, in the northern part of Japan, the onsen... Wait, what was I talking about? Jesus, I've totally lost my train of thought. You're talking about cold baths, washing yourself. Oh, fuck me. Well, at least I mentioned the Halo thing, so I always forget that shit. True. Um, hang on. Uh, it'll come to me. Just give me a moment. Hang on. Oh, right. Oh, I got it. I remember my story now. Right. So when I was thinking about onsens. It's not actually related to onsens. It's related to snow, which is the whole topic today. Whose footprints are these? Just totally what I'm going to name the video, because I can't help myself. Couldn't help it. I made footprints, and I was like, well, actually, I said it when because the waifu and the waifu's friend walked into the house, and I was like just chilling out, looking at the snow, and I looked to the front door, like along the path that they'd walked down, and I saw their footprints, and I was like, hmm? Whose footprints are these? Couldn't help. And then I was like, oh, I'm gonna make my own footprints. It's gonna be awesome, and it was fun. It's, you know what, making footprints in snow, so much better than making footprints in dirt. It's incredible how much better it is. Because you can totally see the imprint of the foot compared to like when it's like in sand or whatever. You know, like at the beach. Anyway, moving on. Right, so in Tsunonomio, in the northern part of Japan, it was snowing, right? It was when we went out, you know, to have an onsen. Now, when we were on the way back, the waifu was doing something. She grabbed some snow, she made it into like a snowball, and she gave it to me. And I didn't know what the hell what she was doing. I thought she was trying to throw a snowball at me, or she wanted to have a snowball fight, which I'd never had before, because this is the first time I'd seen snow. So I'm like, yeah, let's have a snowball fight, even though it's, well, actually no. What I was actually thinking was, it's too cold for a snowball fight. Sorry, waifu, but I'm gonna have to decline. So I threw the snowball, you know, away. Like I was gonna throw it at her, and I was like, no, come on, I won't do that to you. So I threw it down on the ground. Then I got into trouble. Right, I got into big trouble. Right, I was in trouble. She was angry, and I'm like, why are you angry? What's the matter? It's just a snowball. No. So apparently there's this tradition that I didn't know about in Japan. It's a very romantic thing. Is one person makes a snowball of, you know, varying size, and then another person makes a slightly smaller snowball, and they put them together on top of each other, the small one on top, and it makes a little snowman. And they put the snowman down on like a bridge or something, right? And then they kiss with the snowman in the middle, and it's very romantic, and it's a sign of like your affection for one another. I didn't freaking know that. I thought she was throwing a snowball at me. So I got in huge trouble, and I wanted to do it like the next day after she explained it all to me, and the snow had all gone. I'm like, oh well, now I'm an asshole because I didn't know. So I was really happy that it was all snowing. So I took the wife and I'm like, all right, you know, let's make a little snowman. And she's like, oh yeah, like you totally didn't do last time. I'm like, shut up about that. I didn't know, right? I didn't know. Anyway, do you want to make a snowman or not? So we made a little snowman, and yeah, it wasn't as romantic as I thought it was gonna be. It was kind of boring, really. Sorry. That's the end of my story. So snow, yeah. So let me know if you've got a cool snow story, like a cool snow story. Actually, you know what? If you just got a story about snow, leave a comment, because I'm desperate for comments. I'm desperate for affection, attention, really. So, you know, shower me with your affection. And hopefully tomorrow we will have arrived in the next town, which I believe is Riverhold. Not to be confused with River Run or Riverwood. Yeah. I'll see you next time. My name is Leo. Wait, no, I did that round the wrong way. My name is Leo, and I'll see you next time. It's gotta be that way. You can't do it any other way. Yeah.